Alright, we have more Sylvaneth today. This is a Heartwood list. It's got 6 Scythe Hunters, 3 Bow Hunters, and 2 units of Tree Revs, giving us 3 battle line. We got Tree Lord Ancient with Regrowth, Arch Revenant with Griff Feather Charm for a 5-up ward, and Warsong Revenant is our general. He's got Spell Singer. His War Scroll spell is Verdurous Harmony to try and bring back some hunters if I need to. And he's got Aspect of the Champion fueled by Garish Rage, so hopefully that keeps him alive in addition to his War Scroll 4-up ward. We do have the Spitestorm Hive to try and get our Kurnoth Hunters in there, and we have 3, these are going to be Revenant Seekers, to try and make sure our Kurnoth Hunters stay alive. We are in the Dwindling, so I'm going to be able to reroll one of my casts, or Dispels or Unbinds, and we'll be going up against Kruleboyz.
Okay, today we'll be doing Kruleboyz. It's going to be Grinnin Blades. We're going to have our grand strategy is going to be the Waaagh. Have either our general or battle line unit in the opponent enemy's territory by the end of the game. Triumph Inspired, 1980 on the points. We'll have a Killaboss on Great Gnashtoof. He'll have the Mount trait Fasten, so we can get him in turn 1 if we need to and do a little bit of pinning, 3-up save. We'll have Gobsprakk there, knows the whole spell lore. We will have the Killaboss with Stab-Grot, and the he'll have the Tunnel Master aspect of the champion, so we can use him for any kind of cunning maneuver or any backdoor teleporting to steal objectives later in the game. We've got him so that we can use his ability on one of the 2 units of 20 Gutrippaz, which will, if they fail a battle shock test within 3 inches of them, only 1 will flee. We've got our Sludgeraker Beast here, and he's going to be our general for this game. He's going to have the command trait Egomaniak to be able to shrug off wounds or mortal wounds to a unit within 3 inches on a 4-up. Give him a little bit more resiliency in the Mork's Eye Pebble, which will give a ward for everybody wholly within him, the range on the enemy shooting phase should we need that. 2 units of Hobgrots, just 10 mans for screens there, and we will have 2 Swampcalla Shamans. One will have Sneaky Miasma, so we can get one of our 2 monsters up there in the hero phase, and the other will be running Nasty Hex to try and turn off a ward if we need to. We got our final unit of 6 Bolt Boys here. This is a 3-drop, 2 battle regiments, and 1 unit not in them. Okay, today we'll be praying in the presence of idols. We've deployed. Sylvaneth chosen this side over here. You found yourself a nice piece of arcane terrain to set your bows up on. And the Kruleboyz have deployed over here. Kind of a little bit of a strong side deployment there. And you finish first, you get to pick.
Yeah, I'm going to give you the first turn.
Okay, we'll go into turn 1 on Kruleboyz. Grinnin Blades. End of Kruleboyz turn 1. We took our battle tactic as Cunning Maneuver on the Killaboss on foot. We moved up. We got Sneaky Miasma off on Gobsprakk, moved him up within range. We tried Summon Boggy Mist and Choking Mist on him. Got one of them off with a 10 and got unbound by the Tree Lord Ancient. He rolled an 11 after the +1 from the Arcane over there. So that was disappointment. We failed the other one. We put a Mystic Shield with this Shaman onto this Gutrippa unit, try to make them a little bit more resilient. We also give them poison, so they're on this objectives, helping this Killaboss with the Cunning Maneuver. So that gets our battle tactic there. We put poison onto the Bolt Boys, who are out of range of everything, but that'll give them an extra save. As the targets that the Sylvaneth player picked for +1 to hit are the Bolt Boys, the Sludgeraker Beast, and Gobsprakk. So we wanted to beef up our defenses a little bit more on the Bolt Boys. Our dirty tricks was the -1 to wound in the first turn, and we also made the Bolt Boys invisible if they are within cover, of which we didn't make it to yet. We got our Hobgrot screens up there, kind of preparing to be hit. And that's about it. We're gonna...
The idle units we picked at the beginning, once the turn started for the battle plan, he picked, I believe it was the Sludgeraker Beast, the unit of 6 Bolt Boys, and the Killaboss on Great Gnashtoof.
That's right.
I have my unit of 6 Scythes, the Warsong Revenant, and the unit of 3 Bows, who I'm not really expecting to do a whole lot, but they're going to be shooting stuff, so if they kill something, I may as well get an extra point from it.
Makes sense. So that's gonna end Kruleboy's turn and give us 1, 2, and more. 5 points going into Sylvaneth's turn 1.
Alright, so this is the end of the Sylvaneth movement phase. Battle Tactic was gaining momentum on the Bolt Boys. Here action got a command point with the Arc Revenant. Summons the tree Wildwood over there with the Tree Lord Ancient. Ended up with a 12 after using the Dwindling to re-roll the Warsong Revenant's cast for the Mortal Wound Bomb out of that tree, but Gobsprakk uses 3d6, got a 14, so he was going to take 6 mortal wounds, but on his 4-ups he only took 1, which is strange. But after that, was able to get the Spikes from Hive Elf, so teleported the Hunters over behind him, hoping to get the charge and kill the Bolt Boys. That would get an idle point, that would get my Battle Tactic as well. They do have Mystic Shield from the Tree Lord Ancient, who in the movement phase teleported to grab that objective. Outside 9. These guys moves up to grab this one, so that allows me to be even eligible for gaining momentum if I can kill those guys. Other than that, we'll be moving into shooting phase, which will just be the Tree Lord, and then hoping for the good charge with the Crown of Hunters. End of Sylvaneth, turn 1. We had missed the shooting attacks over there. Rolled funny, if we would have rolled opposite hits and wounds, they would have gone through. But with the -1 to wound, I wasn't able to get it. Made the charge over here, rolled boxcars, got a 15, didn't really want to go anywhere but the Bolt Boys. But then took the Unleash Hell, which I knew was coming, had a Mystic Shield ready for it. But he rolled 5 6s and 2 5s. I took 19 mortal wounds, which left me with 2 guys and 1 other guy with 1 wound left, who killed all but 1 Bolt Boy in the combat phase. And then the 1 Bolt Boy and the Shaman and the Pot-grot over there did 5, 6, 7 wounds to the Crown Hunters. And I never rolled a save, it was all mortals. So we're gonna see scoring 1 for 1, 1 for 2, 1 for more. Failed Battle Tactic to get them. Spent command points on Battle Shock.
Yep, I did the same on Inspiring Presence for the Bolt Boy. 6s were rolled a lot, and they had the elixir and everything, so that was helpful. But there you go.
To roll off for turn 2.
Okay.
That's 5.
I got a 2.
I'm gonna take it.
He's gonna take it.
Sylvaneth turn 2. End of Sylvaneth turn 2. Starting to restock on our hunters. They were over there. Was able to get a Verder's Harmony from the Warsong Revenant out of that tree into these guys to bring 1 guy back. They teleported into the movement phase and came back here, which, based on the wording and the order, these guys can also bring back another guy. Battle Tactic was Cunning Maneuver with the Arc Revenant on that objective, which we got. This went off and gave these guys +3 move and charge, which didn't really help. Took a damage from Deadly. Shot and killed 6 Hobgrots with the Tree Lord Ancients over there, and the rest fled to Battle Shock. Was able to get the Warsong Bomb out of that Wildwood this time without it being unbound. Not a super high casting roll, but still did a bunch of spread damage, finished off the last Bolt Boy, and did a bunch of chip damage to everything else there. Was able to kill 2 Gutrippaz and lost another one to Battle Shock. Looking to rally into Kruleboyz turn 2. Try and bring back some more Chronoth Hunters.
Okay, and that's gonna get you, because you killed an idol with an idol, so you went...
Bolt Boy idol with War Song, who's also an idol. So gaining extra points, scoring 1, 2, and more, and scoring 2 from a battle tactic, up to 9 points this turn.
Alright. End of the Kruleboyz movement phase for turn 2. Our battle tactic was desecrate their lands on this piece of terrain right here. We attempted to get Sneaky Miasma off on the Sludgeraker beast, but we failed that. We failed basically all the rest of our spell casting, or it was unbound, with the exception of the Black Pit. Gobsprakk got that off and put the Kurnoth Hunters and these Riders right here -1 to their attacks characteristic, so that's handy. We did finest our Gnashtoof here. We thought about throwing him in, but since we didn't get our Sneaky Miasma off, we thought it was probably a good idea to keep him in reserve. We moved out of range of the Wildwood for casting there, and generally moved everything else up. We're going to go into some charge phases because no shooting is going to happen. Alright, end of the Kruleboyz turn 2. We made our charges with the 20 mana Gutrippaz over here, and between the elixir and the extra mortal wounds from the Sludgeraker aura, we ended up doing 20 mortal wounds to the Bug Rider guys. Gobsprakk got in there, but was not needed. So that worked out well. We only got 2 hits through that were not mortals, but they weren't needed either. So we took desecrate their lands on that terrain feature right there, and we accomplished it. So 1, 2 more, bringing us to 10 to 9, and going in the turn roll off for 3. I have a 6 and 5. So we'll look at what we're gonna do. Probably gonna be Kruleboyz taking it, but we'll see. Okay, here we are. We did take the turn. Kruleboyz going into top of turn 3, taking the double turn. When our battle tactic is gaining momentum, we chose to attempt to kill the Kurnoth Hunters. We attempted a heroic recovery and failed on the Shaman that's pretty wounded back here. And he rallied back 1 hunter, so that makes it a little bit more difficult for us. We did move up. Got a pretty good surround. We have the poison elixir on these Gutrippaz and these Gutrippaz over here. Gobsprakk's over there, kind of threatening the Revenant in the back there. And we're going to see if we can do enough to take these guys out. All of our casting basically failed with the exception of a Mystic Shield on the Sludgeraker. And that's it. We're going to see about some charges. Into the charge phase for Kruleboyz. We got our charges off. They were pretty low, but we did make it in with both units of Gutrippaz and the Sludgeraker. Gobsprakk made it into the trees over there. He is going to see about taking out some of these tree revenants and perhaps engaging the revenant there to stop some board control and give him something else to think about. And we'll see what happens going into the combat phase. Okay, end of Kruleboyz turn 3, top of 3. We completed our battle tactic. We killed the hunter unit for gaining momentum. We did call the Kruleboyz Waaagh to make sure. Attacked with the general, took out a couple of the hunters, left only 1 left, and this 1 unit of Gutrippaz right here did their job. Gobsprakk made it in over there and did pretty much no damage to these. Actually, no, he ended up killing 3 of these tree revenants and taking a couple wounds back from the war song over there. So we're kind of tying things up, another thing to think about, and we'll be going into Sylvaneth turn 3, bottom of 3. Score is now 15 for Kruleboyz to 9 for Sylvaneth.
End of Sylvaneth turn 3 movement phase. Battle tactic was desecrate on that tree, which I grabbed at the tree revenants hiding behind the wall. Tree Lord Ancient from there teleported over here. The Arc Rev moved up over there to attack the Hobgrots. He's gonna see what he can get into. Warsong Revenant summoned a tree over here, and then cast the Warsong Bomb out of the tree. Did 6 mortal wounds to this shaman, killing him, and 2 to that one that was over there, killing them both to the wounds. Did some more spread damage on everything else. And we're just going to try and hope for this charge over here. He's got an Arcane Bolt on him. And we'll be getting Battle Tactic, and if I can make this charge, we'll get 1, 2, and more to keep us in the points game.
Alright.
Alright, end of Sylvaneth, turn 3. Scored our Battle Tactic with the Tree Revenants over there by the Wildwood. Failed the charge with the Tree Lord, but did put 3 damage on the Killaboss over there. So maybe next turn if I get the double. Finished off, somehow or another, killed Gobsprakk with the 3 bow hunters. They didn't miss a single hit or wounds on their attacks into him for a shooting attack of the game. So
and he couldn't make a single ward.
Yeah, so ended up taking 10 damage from it. And so that frees up the Warsong Revenant. Hopefully if he gets the turn again though, Gutrippaz will be coming in, and that could be over. I might end up getting stuck or losing the Warsong, or I could survive it and escape. If I get the turn, I'll be looking for charge over there at the Killaboss and try and find a battle tactic to complete. Going for the points. I don't think I'm going to be able to lift all the Gutrippaz, so looking for
so you got 2 points for the turn, putting you up to 11, and 15 on the Gutrippaz.
2 up to 12 plus 1 because the bow hunters were an idle unit, as was the Gobsprakk there. Or no, Gobsprakk wasn't an idle, was he?
No, he was not.
No, so you're right, 11 points. So yeah, 11 to 14 you said?
Yes, 11 to 15. 15 on the Kruleboyz. Going into turn roll off for 4. Looking at a 1 to a 2.
I'll take it.
Sylvaneth, turn 4.
Alright, this is end of Sylvaneth's turn 4. We did make a charge with the Tree Lord Ancients into these Gutrippaz for our battle tactic, which was harness the Spirit Paths, make a charge, move, and teleport. We then strike and fade. Use it to put him over here near the Spite Swarm Hive to set up for next turn, or possibly the turn after. We teleported the Tree Revenants either side to make sure we held both objectives on the sides. The Arch Revenant finished off the Hobgrots over there. Charged with the Kurnoth Hunters as well, hoping to take some more out. Did succeed at that. Killed quite a few more Gutrippaz between damage and battle shock. Though they did lose 1, took 6 mortal wounds. And we'll be going into the Kruleboyz turn 4. My score is going to be 1, 2, and more, and 2 for the battle tactic, getting me up to 16.
16. Kruleboyz are looking at 15. Still a game. Bottom of turn 4. Alright, bottom of turn 4 for the Kruleboyz. Our battle tactic is eye for an eye. I'm going to see what we can do. We're kind of still in combat with these Gutrippaz, so they're hanging out there. Move the Sludgeraker up there to assist. Pulled these Gutrippaz that were not in combat back to kind of come back over here and contest this objective. Use the Fasten on the Gnashtoof. He's got 1 wound left. He tried to heroic recovery and failed that. So we're going to see what we can get out of him before he bites the bullet there. See if we can get us an eye for an eye and make some charges here. Okay, bottom end of Kruleboyz turn 4. We accomplished eye for an eye. We killed the Kurnoth Hunters with bows over here using the Sludgeraker. He rolled some pretty decent mortals. The Gnashtoof made it in over here. We activated with him first because he only had 1 wound remaining, and he killed all but 1 of the Tree Revenants. But he attacked back with the 1 Tree Revenant trying to kill him and got 1 through, but we saved it, so that was good. So we've got 1, 2 more for the turn, and our battle tactic of eye for an eye for a total of 5 points, which gets us to 20 to 16. And going into the roll-off for turn 5, 6 to 1.
I'll take it.
Sylvaneth taking 5.
End of Sylvaneth turn 5 movement phase. Goal is going to be to charge all of my units to try and tie them up, and ends up holding more objectives and hopefully keep it that way through Kruleboyz' turn. Moved up the Warsong Revenant. He's not going to be able to cast any more spells this game, so no point in keeping him near Arcane anymore. Tree Lord has an extra command points and an Arcane Bolt on him. Battle tactic this turn was Eradicate Trespassers from Sylvaneth book. I pick an enemy unit within 6 inches of an Awakened Wildwood, which was the Killaboss on a Great Gnashtoof, and killed him with the Warsong Revenant's War Scroll spell, 5 Immortal Wound Bomb into him, as well as after summoning this Wildwood, all the other units, doing basically 5 damage to pretty much everything else except for the pass-offs. Teleported the Tree Lord Ancients over here, moves the Arc Revenants over there, behind the Gutrippas, and teleport these Tree Revenants over here and try and hopefully get as many charges as we can, going into the shooting phase. End of Sylvaneth turn 5, was able to make all the charges, but these guys, which didn't end up mattering. Tree Lord was able to, between him and Battle Shock, finish off the Gutrippas over here and take back the objective, holding 1, 2 more and scoring 2 for my battle tactic. I scored in the hero phase. Was not able to kill the Snatchaboss, which could cause issues. Forgot about the grand strategy, so will definitely not be scoring that this game. Going into Kruleboyz' last turn of the game, 22 to 21.
Yeah, Kruleboyz are down by 1, and the idle points have helped Sylvaneth big time, especially with that Warsong Bomb. Got him an extra point this turn, so let's see if we can get our grand strategy and not die in the process. We're going to be going for take that, you suckers, do 10 wounds or mortal wounds, and not take 10 back. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so end of Kruleboyz' turn. We had a lot going on here. Consulted some rule books and discussed things out. But the Sludgeraker beast in the end bit the dust, passed off wounds onto the Gutrippas. 1 Gutrippa survived with 1 wound left. We activated our Fuel by Gurish Rage on the Revenant, and he came back, so he's still around. So Kruleboyz are actually not getting any points this turn for primaries, and their battle tactic did not do enough wounds or mortal wounds. But we've got 1 battle line, and he is in the territory for the opponent there. So we do complete our grand strategy, which gets us 3 points. And since the Warsong Revenant was an idol, and he did indeed kill the Sludgeraker, I got a point on my turn again for the idol. So that brings our final score to, what do we say?
23 to 24.
23 to 24. Kruleboyz taking it by 1 point. Very close game. A lot of back and forth. Dice swung back and forth. Mortals were going everywhere. Save rolls were back and forth. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I underestimated, for one thing, the first thing I noticed, I underestimated the amount of mortal wounds coming out of the Gutrippas. Totally didn't see coming that 20 of them could quite quickly lift unit of 6 size, or the unit of 4 that was left even. Also, I always forget how good the Warsong Revenant is, dishing out that many mortal wounds everywhere, but yeah, I couldn't keep up with the points. I haven't played a list that's like this in a while. I've been playing all Tree Lords, so still trying to figure out how it scores. Probably could have done something better with the Scythe Hunters earlier on. Probably should have teleported them away, but then again, 3 of them shouldn't have died to Unleash Hell, and they probably should have killed the Bolt Boys. But overall, very close game. Yeah, working back into the Sylvaneth list. Fun.
Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. Lists are in the descriptions. Please have any questions, let us know.